So in this video, I'll talk about returns in Ongoing. So there are multiple ways of handling returns in Ongoing. We're going to focus on the return order list here. We're going to pretend that we have an integration with a return management system such that the returns, when initiated by an end consumer, is automatically transferred to Ongoing and they will pop up here under the return order list. You can of course also create return orders manually. We're going to do that. You see this button here, and you can quickly receive a return using this button. I will show you that. It's also possible to do in the scanning interface. And then I want to mention, if you are a 3PL and you have multiple clients here and you have created a client's login or goods owner login, then those accounts will have a button here called create return order. All right, so the first thing we are going to do is create some return causes. So we can search up here return causes, or we can go here and registers return causes. And we're going to create a new return cause. So let's call one damaged with code D, and this this cause means that the returned goods should be scrapped, removed. So we'll create that, and then let's give one change my mind of the product that was ordered, and we're gonna give that code C. And then we can have another one called other. So doesn't really matter the causes, but here we go. And then typically you would have these printed out and close to the return area. So you can just click this button and get the PDF with the return causes, and those will be what you scan when you need to change the return cause. Typically it's pre-filled if you have an integration to a returns system. And you can easily copy return causes from between goods owners if you are a 3PL by using this button here, but let's not delve too much into that. Instead, we go back to the order list. Now we're going to process one return for an order that has already been sent. So let's take this one, we select it, and now we process it here directly in the interface, and then we're going to create the return orders. So we click return, and let's say this one was damaged. So and you see here that this box is checked. Ongoing needs to first put it on a location and then scrap it for traceability purposes. So in principle, we just click this button and then we complete the return. And now we can see on Sophia Bengtsson, and these are all fictive customer names, of course, that the order has been returned. So we should also be able to see here what has happened. If we scroll down, we see here this is the items on the order. It has been returned by my user, and this is the return code. So the next thing that we're going to do is I've created two more orders here and sent them. These are the two ones that we're going to create return orders of. So yeah, here are three items from, you can see here a couple of shorts of different sizes. So let's select that, click return, create return order. And now we have to do this one by one. So let's put one as in change my mind, click the plus sign, and another one, other, and then the third one can be damaged. This, and then we give it a return order number, return just PM123, and this would then be the equivalent of having an integration with a return order number. So this will be what comes from the system, the return system. Now we click update, and then we click we close the dialog, and we do the same thing for the next order. It's the one with the number 2. So click create return order, and we changed my mind. The user does not want it, and this one, and then return order number returns system 124 instead. So we click the plus sign, update. We didn't need to click update there, but we just close it. And then we can go to the return order list. We have that here. We have 2 return orders. The thing we're going to do now is we're going to process these return orders using the scanning interface, and we're going to pretend that we put them on a picking cart. And so this gives us the benefit that we can fill up a picking cart with returns that are in good condition and that we want to sell again. And then when we have time, we can create a movement order for the picking cart and put out the items on the picking locations, for example. The benefit here is that once the goods are placed on either of the bins, this is considered a warehouse location in Ongoing, or it is a warehouse location, the goods are then directly sellable in your sales channels where the orders came from. So we connect the return order with the correct order, and then once we've received the returns, it is sellable in the sales channel, and the end consumer can then be reimbursed. But that is handled by the other systems and not by Ongoing itself. So we select both of these and we click arrived, indicating that they have arrived at the warehouse, and now we receive them in the scanning interface. So I'm going to copy this return order number, go to the scanning and choose return. Return system 123. And here I have 3 lines, and I'll start with this one. And I'm going to input a location. And so I put here 101. That's the first bin in my picking cart. And this would be the equivalent of scanning the bin on the picking cart or trolley. So one article was returned. We take the next order line and we take the next location on the cart. And then we see here that this has the return cause D as in damage. So we're going to scrap that, and it's pre-filled for us. Now I'm not putting the next location in the picking cart, but instead some arbitrary location, because Ongoing needs to first put it on a location and then scrap it for traceability purposes. And you see here that I can also change return cause. I can put a picture to the return order should I want to, but I'm finished here with this, so I just close the order. And then I take the next one, 124. And here I only have one item, the shorts here. And here you can see the location suggestions are where it is already existing goods. So in this case on some buffer location, and then probably the picking spot, and then here's the picking cart. It says that in bin 102 there is one item of this. So of course I'm going to put it on that location. The article was returned, and now I close the order. And if I reload the page here, you will see that the status has been updated on the return orders. So the next thing that we're going to do is create a movement order for the moving the objects from the trolley into the warehouse locations. But you could imagine then that you would fill up the whole trolley before doing something like this. To do this, we go to update goods info, and we're going to we only want the picking cart here. So I happen to know that if I put one and dash, then I'll get all the picking cart locations. And but you could of course bring about another column here to choose the actual picking cart. But let's just do this and then select all of these. And we're going to create a movement order from these objects to their picking location. So we simply click create now. And now we will have a movement order to execute in the scanning interface. Go to the scanning again, and then it's this one, move with cart. We're going to choose a picking cart. So this is all from our handheld device, whatever unit that may be. We choose the picking cart, and here it says what location they are going from. That's the bin location to the picking location of that article. So we must switch to put away here. And now we scan the article. So we start with this one. And these can all be changed. If you want to scan the actual bin, you can do so as well. But in this instance, we only scan the article first. We input the count. And then a location to move to. And it's going to be this picking location. So I go to that location and then I scan it. And now this article was removed. For this particular article, I have 2 items in the same bin. So I scan that. Put 2. And then I go to the picking location for that article in my warehouse. And I simply click enter here, or I scan that location. And it says moved 2 articles to location HC241. All right. So now if I want to see all the transactions that I've done, or then I can go to goods flow and then goods transactions. Click search, and that will give me today's all transactions. And so here you can see what I did just now was move from that location to this location, 2 items here in total, and then a third item, or the second item, was moved from that location to this picking location. And then we did the returns and all of that. But here you have the traceability, what has been done. So to repeat here, working with return orders in Ongoing is probably best done having an integrated integration with the return system, so that you get the orders automatically here in the return order list, and then they are automatically populated with the information from the orders connected to the correct order. And then when you scan the return order number or the label on the package, you will have some pre-filled information, and you can get notified here that you have return orders, so you can plan your workforce accordingly. And then we used a picking cart, and we filled that up with the returns in good condition, and then we go only once out in the warehouse and put the items back on their picking locations, or whatever locations you want. And we did that using a movement order. And of course the picking cart could, it can be just one location, and if you have a big bulky objects, just put them on some sort of return area, and when they're scanned into Ongoing, they are directly sellable, and the end consumer can be reimbursed with their money. So I hope you learn a little bit about returns in Ongoing. Thank you very much.